drawing the pole and leading the field down to the green flag for the start of Heat 1 here for Round 3 at Greenville-Spartanbug Speedway in South Carolina would be Damir Bezhianov in the 13 car. Jeffrey Fingai in the 20 would be on his outside. Through turn 2, Damir would be able to get by Jeffrey Fingai, but coming down into turn 3, Jeffrey would get a nice run through the turn, and through the following S's, Jeffrey would take the lead. Down the long front straightaway on the next lap, Damir Bezhianov would dive to the bottom and would try to get back around Jeffrey Fingai. However, this would prove unsuccessful, as Jeffrey Fingai would once again get a very nice run off of turn 2 into turn 3 to retake the lead. At the back of the field, weirdly, we have Spencer Fullerton, who's had a fantastic record at road courses last year. Perhaps he just doesn't have his car dialed in yet. Coming on to lap 3, William Duncan would get to the inside of Damir Bezhianov, trying to move up into second so he can perhaps challenge Jeffrey Fingai for the lead. But Damir would hold on the outside and would be able to get a terrific run through the second corner to retake second place. In fact, into turn 3, Damir would get another brilliant corner, and through the S's, Damir Bezhianov back into the lead. Coming onto the front stretch on the last corner of the track, Ophelia Ndumian would try to get past Skylar Dixon. Skylar would move down to block while Ophelia was already there, and she spun up the track, putting Matthew Stringer into the wall, and he was slammed by Scott Batista and Luke Walker. We've got a huge pile-up. Massive impacts for Skylar Dixon and Scott Batista. Let's go onboard Spencer Fullerton during this wreck, as he was one of the only cars to get through relatively undamaged behind the site of the original spin, as he got a little bit of a piece of damage from Alex Allen, but squeezed right through the middle of that crash, slowed right down, and that is how you avoid a wreck, ladies and gentlemen. They red flagged the field on a few corners before that main straightaway in an effort to clean up the debris all over the front stretch to get this race going as quickly as possible. 6 cars have gone out of the race from this accident. Richard Trelinsky, Luke Walker, Alex Allen, Gerald Reddington, Scott Batista, and Skylar Dixon, who will definitely not be making it 3 for 3 here in the heat race. Scott Batista has been released from the medical center. He just had the wind knocked out of him, and he escaped with minor injuries. But Skylar Dixon has been was able to get out of the car under his own power, but had to be walked to the ambulance and has been sent to a nearby medical facility for further evaluations. Damir Bezhianov would lead the remaining field of 12 back into green flag condition. Matthew Stringer and Dakota Honecker have quite a bit of damage. Matthew Stringer is very slow and is holding up Spencer Fullerton right now, but other than that, all the cars on the track are running well, and we still have a race to finish here. Coming into turn 3, Luko Brovac would get too close to TJ Dent in the 18 and would end up spinning him off of the corner. This would allow the field to be sent back to green flag conditions with just 2 laps to go. I don't know whether that small spin should have brought out the caution, but it did anyways. And now we are back under green flag with just 2 laps to go with a shootout, as William Duncan is trying to get into 3rd position here, trying to pass Mark Nutt and Ophelia Ndumian, as Jeffrey Fingai is really hounding the back bumper of Damir Bezhianov. Jeffrey Fingai, Mark Nutt, and William Duncan would battle for 2nd on the last lap, leaving Damir Bezhianov to take the checkered flag. Jeffrey Fingai in the 20 would come across the line in 2nd place. Mark Nutt coming home 3rd. William Duncan getting a nice 4th place finish, and Ophelia Ndumian rounding out the top 5. Another veteran, Ilya Bondarenko in the 77 car, would lead the field down to the green flag for heat race number 2. Chris Washer in the 5 is on his outside, as this is one of the best times to make a pass, as Pichu London got into Ilya Bondarenko there, nearly spun him out going into turn 1 there. Because of that, Chris Washer will take the early lead, and Michael Caine trying to slip into second here. Through turn 3, Michael Caine will get into second. Coming on to the third lap, the top 3 drivers are tailgating each other. Ilya Bondarenko would try to get underneath Michael Caine. Michael Caine would throw the block, but nearly wrecked them as they went through that turn, but they would stay in second and third. I can't imagine Ilya is terribly happy with Michael Caine, though, right now. This track is proving quite hard to pass, as right now things have stabilized at single file racing. No one really able to put a move on another driver to take the spot at the moment. It looks like qualifying for the main race will be very important in determining how you finish in the feature. On the 5th lap, Michael Caine would get quite impatient on trying to get past Chris Washer, and would be able to get to the inside of him through the S's. That is the easiest way to make the pass. However, Chris Washer had a nice run off the corner leading up to the S's, and Chris Washer would hold on to the lead. Onto the backstretch, as we approach the chicane, Paul Swanson would be racing with Alex Stanker. Alex Stanker's hit the chicane wall, and we've got a big accident. Johnny Appleseed, Paul Swanson, and Alex Stanker all hit the wall pretty hard there. Johnny Appleseed smashed into Alex Stanker. Alex Stanker trying to get that car fired, but he just wouldn't be able to do so. Alex Stanker would be sent to the infield care center, but would emerge fine. Paul Swanson, believe it or not, despite his car billowing smoke right now, would not retire from the race. Johnny Appleseed and Alex Stanker would, however. Chris Washer would lead the field back to the green flag with just 3 laps to go here. Michael Caine with a big run up on him, trying to get past him into turn 1. Michael Caine has probably had a faster car than Chris all of this heat race, but just hasn't been able to make a move stick here. Chris Washer trying to hold on the outside. Ilya Bondarenko going with him, perhaps trying to get by Michael Caine if his run isn't sufficient. And Chris Washer would move back into the lead. On the second to last lap, Andreas Allen and James O'Shea were battling for the last points-paying position, and Andreas would get into James O'Shea, and James would spin around. The officials would actually bring out the caution for this. I don't know whether that was completely worthy, but although worthy of one, but they did have a lot of cars racing double file behind them, so either way, we are racing back to the flag. Chris Washer would remain unchallenged on his way to the caution flag, and Chris Washer is your winner for heat race number 2, having led all of the 10 laps. As Ilya Bondarenko expressing his anger with Michael Caine over some of the moves that Michael did earlier in the race. Michael Caine will get second. Ilya Bondarenko will get third. Ty Dent will come across the line in fourth, and Jacob Young will get fifth.